Hey guys, welcome. Uh, my name's Kevin. I am here with ONE FC champion Martin Nguyen. How we doing?
Doing very well, man. Just training hard, keeping on top of everything, so we perform right come fight night.
All right, listen. You just got announced. You have a fight with Thanh Lee coming up at one in on the 30th, if I think the day before Halloween. Am I right?
You are correct right there, man.
So listen, it's been almost more than a year, right, since you fought. How's that been?
It sucks, man. I've had two fallout fights. It is what it is, man. I mean, it's out of my control, so I don't really stress about it, man. Stuff like that doesn't really bother me. As long as I just maintain staying on top of what I know and what I do best, it's training, man, and just when the time comes and the stars align, then it's time to shine.
If you don't mind me asking right now, where are you at the moment?
I'm in Florida at the moment. I do all my camps at Sanford MMA.
Mm-hmm.
So I leave my family for roughly about 2 months, 8 weeks, and I come over here and I do my thing, and I go out to fight week and perform, man.
Right. So, as you know, like one of the questions we got from the Instagram thing I did was, all right, you're training at Sanford MMA. How has that been with COVID outbreaks being prevalent in Florida?
You know what? Thank the Lord that the Florida state government, they deem MMA as an essential thing to do. So I mean, it's part of work, and everyone's here at training. Everyone's taking the protocols of like cleanliness and all that shit. But you know what? It's really realistically, man. It's like nothing has ever happened. We rock up in the training. Obviously, we do our temperature checks and everything like that. Everyone's clean. We come in, we do our thing, and afterwards, the normal things. Shower up, stay clean, wash up, hand sanitizers left, right, and center in the gym. So everyone's using them. Usually, I'm bathing and the whole thing, putting my whole body under it. Not taking any chances, but it is what it is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, listen. When you go to any gym nowadays, right after you use the mats, they start spraying everything, they clean everything up, and then the next set goes on. But listen,
Man, three quarters of my luggage is like Glen 20, so antibacterial sprays and everything like that. So I got stabbed one time in my whole life, and it was the worst time of my life too. So I've become like a clean freak after that time. So yeah.
listen, no one can blame you because here's the thing, right? You have so much to risk with your say with your health because the only way you can provide for your family is when you fight, right? And
That's
if
right.
and if you get COVID and you get canceled and you can fight, then you can't pay for your camp, you can't pay for any other expenses that you. So let
That's
me ask
right, man.
you this: I know you're from down under in Liverpool, New South Wales. Um, how has it been down there, like COVID wise?
So in Liverpool City itself, I know there's cases here and there, but I've actually moved away from Liverpool. I'm like more west now. I'm residing in a state called Camden, so I mean it's much more quieter there. But there's cases everywhere. To be honest, it's just booming out here and there, and they're just telling everyone if you've been in this area, get yourself checked out or quarantine for 2 weeks. Um, and yeah, man, everyone in Australia, they're more self-conscious about it. So it's everyone's not really on point. And then you get some people that don't really care and they just go out with it, and that's how it all spreads. But it is, man. I
Yeah,
just try.
listen,
We
I'm
just we
from
just
New York.
realistically we just keep to ourselves, man.
Yeah, listen, I'm from New York, so I have to be super careful about how I move around things because people out here, some people don't feel it having to be necessary to wear their masks, so it can be a little bit of a struggle. Um, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. It's for the best.
Exactly, man. I mean, the only way to beat it is to work with it and try to eliminate it as fast as possible so life gets back to norm.
Right. Now, let's shift the topic from COVID to your current fight. Don Lee,
Tell me.
Right. Listen, you guys have nearly similar records. Like you have maybe 3 more fights than him, right? Let me ask you this: how do you see yourself stylistically matching up against him?
I think it's styles make fights, and the styles that me and him possess, it's themed for fireworks. So realistically, coming into this fight, we both got to be prepared for what we both possess, and may the best man win.
Listen, do you see yourself possibly getting like an early finish, or do you think it's going to be a downright war?
It could be a war. I always aim for a finish, but whether we get it or not, I don't really stress. I've been in those stressful times in a fight, and it's not fun. It doesn't make the sport fun for myself. I just go in there, do my thing, and let time take its course throughout the fight and see where it goes.
Listen, you're just like 30, 31 years young. You're entering your prime. When I was looking through your record, what's the really impressive fact is your only losses, right? The only losses that you had are in title fights. Non-title fights, you never, been the nail. But how impressive does it look to you when you're looking at your own stock, right? You got to measure yourself as a fighter sometimes, right? To know your value, to know your worth. Um, how do you measure? Do you think you're that one of ONE FC's top stars when it comes to name recognition?
Look, to be honest, I don't really care, man. Yeah, my losses have been through title fights, two in divisions where I thought I belonged, but obviously I didn't. And one was realistically on less than 48 hours notice. So I don't really care, man. The main thing is that I'm fully aware and I'm fully prepared. And in those cases, I was, and I was I came away with the losses that night, which made me kind of experience the L side and take into consideration of what I need to work on.
Right. So you just mentioned, you thought about a division that was not really your home. So I'm gonna guess that you're not looking at a future featherweight return, if I'm guessing right.
So no, the losses where I've had the L's was in the bantamweight division, and
Oh.
one of them in the featherweight division. Yeah, so that featherweight division was my first ever loss against he was the current champ at that time, Murat Gafarov, which I avenged that loss. So I felt like I've closed that chapter of my life. But in terms of the bantamweight fights, I felt like the nutrition side of things helped me get to that division. But in terms of adjusting game plans and styles and my power and all that, it was just like going with the wind. Didn't know what to expect and just go in there. And and one of them we realistically set out a game plan, and the game plan went to shit. It didn't work, and I started to panic. Right, and in that fight, when you panic, you just you're not fighting yourself, and it is what it is, man.
No, listen, hey, sometimes some people, listen, you've seen other fighters, they cut the huge amount of weight just to make the division, and then they end up shooting themselves in the foot when it comes to the fight itself, right? So right now you're focused on defending your lightweight championship. What are your plans for that division? Like, when it comes to like what are your plans like for the future when it comes to you defending the belt?
Yeah, so the belt that I currently have, it is the lightweight weigh-in, so it is 155, 70 kilos, but it's a featherweight title. That division, that's where I belong, and that's where I perform the best. And this is where I've started not started my whole career, but this is where I've started my pro career, and I feel like this is where I belong, man. And every fight I take as it comes. I'm not overshooting my opponents, and I'm not obviously looking down upon them. But yeah, every opponent that I face from when I won the title and on out, it was going to be a world title contender. World title have world title credentials behind them as well. So every fight that I have, it's going to be a tough fight, and you gotta kind of come to terms with that to be able to move forward and see where the comparisons can be and where it can't be, and where you got to fix yourself. And yeah, man, like in this fight against Thanh, I put him at the highest of the high of my opponents. You know, I don't think that he's any better than any of my last opponents. I don't think that any of my last opponents are better than him. He's just a guy that's here to take me on, take everything that I worked for, and you know, take food off my family's plate. So this is me stepping up as a man, as a father, as a champion to defend my crown.
Listen, with the whole, you gave the explanation for the weights. Explain it to me one more time so I can properly understand it. So, because I was looking through, I looked up on the internet, what it was, what the fight information was, and it said one lightweight championship, and it said also the weight said 155. So now you're telling me it's 145. Explain that for me so I properly understand.
Yeah, so traditionally, 155, 70 kilos is the lightweight. It's just a lightweight ranking. Like that's the division. Sorry, lightweight division. Mm-hmm. Now for one championship, because we're not allowed to cut weight, we're not allowed to cut water weight at all. So everyone basically moves up a weight division. So if you used to cut to 145, mm-hmm. Cutting water weight, without cutting water weight, you move up to 155 that you got to weigh in. Some people can't make 155, so then they go up to 170, which will then be the 155 moves up to 170, which is lightweight moves up to the welterweight division ranking. So, but yeah, you got to be within like that water loading, hydration. So for me, luckily, I'm the smallest guy in the division. And I can say that, like me standing next to all of my opponents, they physically look bigger. But at the end of the day, man, when we step on those scales, we're both 155. So, and we're both hydrated. So realistically, what's he going to put on overnight for the next day to fight? What, a kilo, 2 kilos max? I can deal with that because I can do that too. You know, so at the end of the day, he might look bigger, but we are the same weight. So.
Right. So let me ask you, what do you walk around usually then?
Me? Right now I'm 155.
Wow. Okay.
I'm on weight, man. I've been on weight since I've been here in Florida. The lightest I've been was 153, and I went out and I had a Chick-fil-A meal. So man, I've been eating good this whole fight camp. I've been eating some days I eat clean, some days I can afford to eat whatever I want. And you know, as long as I go in that training room and put the work in, I'm energized. I feel like I've got energy. I'm not deflated. I'm not feeling anything out of the norm. So I feel great, man. I'm on weight right now, championship weight, man. Walk in.
That's great to hear. Listen, you've been at ONE FC since let's see. You've been at ONE FC since 2014, 6 years. You know, is it comfortable to say that ONE FC is your home, or do you want to maybe expand your horizons and explore other territories per se?
Yeah, I get asked that every day, literally every single day, if I would ever venture on to the North American market. But for me, I feel like I've established myself. I've come a long way to establish myself in one championship, and I've had heavy talks with the owner, Chatri, and I told him, man, I'm just a loyal guy. If I get looked after, then there's no use now either biting the hand that feeds me or doing anything behind their back, man. For me, I'm loyal. Chatri's been looking after me, and I said, man, until the wheels fall off or until you say we don't need you no more, then I'll move on. But I'm with one championship until the contract rides out and I sign another one, and that rides out until they say, yeah, no more contract.
Listen, hey, they ONE FC was part of the first ever MMA trade. So, I wouldn't listen if it ends up, if I hear that, hey, ONE FC traded Martin to the UFC, I immediately picture you versus Volkanovski in Australia. That's how epic it's going to be.
You know what? I train with Volkanovski, man. And when I'm in Australia, we spar, we move around. But it's for me. That's his shine, man. As I said with Edward as well, I didn't want to fight everything that he's worked hard for, I'll wait for my turn, you know. But if it was ever the case, then and it happened in Australia, I'm telling you, he'll most probably sell out. But Alex is a good guy, man. I can see him being a champion for a while in that division.
Listen, you said that you train at Sanford, so you obviously teammates with the newly signed UFC contender Michael Chandler. How has it been training with him and seeing his being an outsider in his journey? You know, seeing what's been going on.
You know what, Mike Chandler is he's been one of my main training partners this whole camp. What surprised me the most and what I kind of expected that he does so well at is his work ethic in the room. You know, so everything is like from the start of the training session to the very end of the training session, even to after the training session, he's always working. He's probably one of the first guys to arrive and one of the last to leave the room, and I can vouch for that. It's been a blessing to learn from him and to move around with him. And you know, I've got a lot of compliments from him myself. So I'm honored in a way, but I'm glad that we're training partners.
Listen, another one of your training partners, the Burmese Python, Ong Long, is also coming back to fight. You know, listen, I saw you guys on your Instagram stories exchanging tattoos on random people's, on random people's.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
That's crazy. Like, honestly, I was like, one guy had it. Listen, the one on the face, that was what blew my mind. I'm like,
you know what? I was when he showed me that photo, I was like, what the? And then he was like, basically, he was like, man, get on this level. And I was like, where are my fans at, man? Where's this level? And then one day I was scrolling through my one of my posts, and there I was on someone's arm, and I was like, I screenshot it then and there, so I didn't lose it, and I sent it to him that night. It was like 11 p.m. at night. I was like, I'm on your level now.
You know, I think you reached a celebrity status when you have people having tattoos of yourself on their body. Like, that's like a special level.
Yeah, hey, that guy also gave me a fresh fade as well, so my hair was on point on his arm.
Ooh, damn. Listen, let me ask you this: with COVID going around, I myself picked up a couple of new hobbies. Right, like I started doing a podcast. Like I never thought I'd do a podcast, but hey, here I am doing a podcast. What are a couple of new hobbies that you picked up along the way?
Me, I think I was made for quarantine, man. Basically, I just gamed throughout the whole thing. I just game, yeah, man. I hung out with my family. I came back from Florida, started to do the quarantining. 14 days, the whole 14 days was the best 14 days of my life. Every single day I wake up, just gamed. My wife done the shopping. She took the kids to school. I wasn't allowed out of the house, so she done basically everything. So the best 14 days of my life, I just sat around like, on the couch potato, and just gamed, man. And throughout that time, obviously I trained, and now I'm here, doing what I do best, man, and just getting better and better every day.
So, what games do you usually play? Are you a sports guy? Or are you COD guy? Are you Apex?
Yeah, I'm a COD guy. I'm a COD guy. I'm a CS:GO guy. I play a bit of Overwatch, but mainly right now it's COD Warzone. It's just seasons after seasons, and you just get better and better. You play with different people, and I play with some guys who don't realize who I am, and then they look at my name and they search me up and like, holy, are you the guy from one FC? And yeah, just you make new friends like that, man. And then it's crazy.
All right, listen, it's great. For me personally, I move from game to game as each game comes out. Like, I'm a big Assassin's Creed guy. I pre-ordered the new one. I just started playing the new Avengers game, so that's pretty dope. So me, like, Call of Duty, I have phases. I'll go on Call of Duty when it's hot. People are talking about it. I'll play it. I'll play with my friends, and then something else comes along, and then I, change my way.
Yeah, you change it up.
All right, listen.
Honestly, man, for me, I just realistically, when I get back from training, I jump on for a few games. I use my gaming as an escape, man. Because if I'm constantly thinking about MMA and MMA and MMA and MMA, I get burnt out, man. And I'm just like, man, I was just thinking about how to do this for the last 4 hours. I can't even get it right. Like, I don't want to do it no more like that. So I just use gaming as basically an escape and my downtime. It's like, you meet new people here and there, and it's fun, man.
Listen, are you strictly PC, Xbox, PS4?
I'm thankfully enough. I used to be on PS4. I'm thankfully enough that I got a Razer Blade Pro from Razer. So now I get to take the gaming everywhere, literally. So I used to be at home in Australia, just game, and then when I leave anywhere in the world, I mean, I don't game at all. But now that I've got a laptop, I just bring it everywhere with me, and they've hooked it up, and I'm thankful for that.
So it's got like a little suitcase and everything that you can carry it along.
Yeah, I've got my baggage. I've got my bag. I put my keyboard. I got external. I use external keyboards and mouses, and everything from there. It's been pretty good, man.
Wow, look, listen, he's a nerd as well as a guy that can kick ass. Dude, listen, listen, if one of the things with the MMA fighters is they have secret personalities, right? You could look like a normal guy, but then next thing you know, you're spinning heel kicking someone on the street because they try to knock the wrong guy. Listen, crazy. Listen, you're from Australia, right? You got any crazy stories from there? Like any crazy stories from recently over the past years?
Not really, man. Growing up, I used to play representative rugby, so football. I got to almost the highest level at a young age, and then I got injured, and I had to pull out of the sport completely. And I became overweight, started from scratch again with jiu-jitsu, and here I am, world champion a few years later. So, man, nothing to be excited about. I lived a normal life in Australia. Not many people know who I am, which is good, which is great. I can walk around and
MZ's now following you.
Be normal and not be judged for what I do. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, listen. You've given me a great amount of time. I thank you so much. I'm looking forward to your fight before Christmas Day. I'll probably be celebrating that weekend, so I'll be on the watch out for your fight too. Let's confirm you will be fighting on October 30th. 2020 against Thanh Lee, and it will be in the 155 lightweight division, even though it is the featherweight division, and it will be in the main card and 5 rounds. Right?
My man, my guy.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Martin. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this time with Martin, and we'll look forward to seeing your fight and talking to you in the future.
Cheers, Kevin. Thank you.
Cheers. All right.